Yo, what's up, YouTube? We're back with another Radiant Typhoon decklist. This is going to be post Banlist and post support for Burst Protocol. Um, right now, I'm currently using some proxies for the deck because well, they haven't been released yet. But this is what I definitely plan on using. I've been doing a lot of test hands, especially with friends at locals, and this is kind of what I've been coming up with. If y'all come up with better ideas, please let me know. I'd be happy to give them a shot. But for now, let's start off easy. We'll start off with our starters. We got 3 Eldam. This guy's obviously searches for the monster, or searches for any monster. It special summons themselves if you have MST in the graveyard or your opponents have no spells and traps out. Amazing. You've got 3 Swen. Swen is kind of also another 1-card starter. Uh, will search for any of the spells or mandate. You've got 3 Krosea. Krosea is amazing if your opponent activates any quick play spell, or if you activate any quick play spell. She just summons herself, searches for MST and a Radiant Typhoon card from either deck or graveyard. So that's amazing. All right, for the one-ofs, we've got 1 Meghala. For any special summon needed. She's kind of been coming up a lot lately, a lot more than I would like to, but I'd still like to keep her at 1. Got 1 Varuroon, who's the monster negate, and then you've got 1 Fonix, who spins back 2. I mean, you don't really need higher ratios than that. Some people do tend to play 2 Fonix because, I mean, big body and spin 2 is kind of amazing. I think he's more of a brick, but he's kind of a necessary evil for the deck. Moving on, we've got 3 Ash. Just generic hand traps, as well as the 3 Fuwas. Very generic hand trap. What's new for the deck, though, is 3 Shiinas. Shiina is basically giant Trunade for monsters or spells. If you control like any wind monster, let's say Fuwalos, your opponent activates any monster effect, you can summon her. Then she bounces every single monster on the field back to the hands. It's the same idea with spells and traps. Once again, if you control a wind monster, your opponent activates any spell or trap, you can just activate her, summon her, and then everything gets bounced back to hand. So she's kind of an amazing, like, I wouldn't say board breaker, but she definitely is a great card, especially considering all of your one-ofs, like your Fonix, your Varuroon, or even like your Kroseas. They special themselves if any quick play spell is activated, so you can kind of just get them out again. So that kind of works out really well. For the spells, we're running 3 Chants. Another 1-card starter searches for both MST or level 4 lower Radiant Typhoon monster, which is insane nonetheless. It's not even once per turn, just each effect are. We're running 3 Pot of Greed. I mean, draw 2, discard 1 is kind of insane, especially for this deck that can recycle everything. Now, I believe I said it in the last video, I wasn't ever going to run this, but I feel like it's another necessary evil. Sometimes it's just good to get like one of your big guys into the graveyard, and then just activate MST for later. And worst case scenario, he searches for MST. The new quick play spell, Elation, or whatever it's calling now, in the English version, is amazing. There's times where I'll get out the new Link 2, which we'll talk about later, by using probably like Krosea or one of the big guys out here. Or, yeah, you can't even use the big guys. I don't know why I'm saying that. Sometimes I'll use Krosea. You can use Elation to special back the Krosea on your opponent's turn. Then you just kind of do everything again, recycle anything, or recur. It also has the same effect as all of the other Radiant Typhoon spells. If you use MST on it, it just resets itself, which is amazing. And of course, once again, they also search for MST as well. MSTs, we're bringing it back up to 3. This deck can search it amazingly and recur it amazingly, and with the new support, it makes it so much easier for a reason to search for it more. I'm playing 3 Fallen The Virtuous. It's still an amazing quick play spell. Target 1, destroy it. And then with the new Ecclesia Synchro, which we'll talk about later, it's literally Monster Reborn. Quick play Monster Reborn is insane. 3 Droplet, still think it's a necessary card. It's Droplet, you can't go wrong with it. Got 1 Called By, need it, and it's another quick play spell that's recurable. And then finally, we got the Singular Mandate. Now it's even better with the new support. Moving on to extra deck. I'm going to play 1 Leviair the Sea Dragon. There's times where my shit will get banished, and I'd like to not have that. 1 Gossip Shadow, monster change effect to draw a card, which is amazing. 1 Totem Bird, Spell Trap, Negate. Cicada King, I usually use them if I somehow still have a leftover Gossip Shadow, because then Gossip Shadow just throws himself back underneath. And you can just kind of have a big body on the field, as well as a monster negate. I'm intending to play a second Gossip Shadow as well. Forgot to mention that. He comes up a lot in all of my games, and he's just super helpful. We're playing 1 Fortune Tune. He's kind of a great stall card, but also if I can't out my opponent's board, like with the new Neocraft stuff, you've got that 1 card that makes it where you can't target anything. Fortune Tune's kind of great because you can use it, attack over something, force itself to not be destroyed, and then go into Zeus. And then, Zeus being Zeus, wipe the board. Kind of a good last minute card. Same with Typhoon. Typhon's just kind of a needed card in every deck. Moving on to some of the links. I've got 1 Wynn. Wynn is great, even better now because now you can search for Shiina. There were times that I will purposely go into battle phase, destroy my Wynn, and then just search for Shiina off that. And then I've got something for interaction later. Playing 1 SP Little Knight. It's Little Knight. And then I'm playing 2 of the new Link 2s. These guys, whenever they're summoned, they add MST from graveyard or deck, which is already great. If a quick play spell on either field is activated, you get to just get to place Mandate straight from deck, face up. So that leaves 1 less search, and then it also plays under Droll. They also have a third effect that I did not use too often, but it's kind of helpful. You can use her effect to target a Radiant Typhoon monster and a monster your opponent controls, and just put them both back into the spell and trap card zone. Most of the time, that's mostly used so you can use MST to destroy it. I don't tend to keep this out long enough to ever use that effect. It might be just good for going second, but I've never used it, low-key. And then finally for the branded package, I'm playing 2 Albion Branded just to get the search, and then the new Ecclesia Synchro. The Ecclesia Synchro's freaking amazing. It makes it where you can infinitely recycle your Fallen The Virtuouses with Mandate. And then Ecclesia, the Synchro, will shuffle itself and an Albion back to the deck. And then you can just kind of keep using this over and over and over and over again. As well as the fact that it's an Ecclesia name, so your Fallen the Virtuous is just now Monster Reborn. Moving on to side deck. Side deck got a little interesting after the Harpy's Feather Storm ban. I decided to trade it out for Dimensional Fissure. This deck doesn't really lose to Di-Fi. Most of the time, the reasoning why your stuff gets sent to the graveyard would be from your Xyz stuff, but if you detach, it doesn't consider itself as being sent to the graveyard, so it just kind of plays around it. I'm playing 3 Purulia. There's been too many decks, including like an Neocraft that summons from hand, but never anything from the extra deck. I'm playing 2 Denko Sekka. Draco Tail's still a thing, as well as a lot of these other stun decks, and honestly, this works even better with the Ditto. It's just great to stop all your opponent's back row. 2 Lava Golems, there's still Lunalight at my locals, and still people making giant towers. It's just good, and this deck doesn't even use its normal summon 90% of the time. Droll got hit, so we're down to 2. And then finally, I'm playing 3 Mistaken Arrest. I'm not sure if I want to keep these. I think it's a great Droll and Lockbird replacement, and as well as the fact that it's a quick play spell, but I'm not 100% sure if I want to keep it. However, it doesn't exactly stop us, because even if we use it on our own turn, we can just kind of do Vision to draw 2 anyway, because Mistaken Arrest just kind of plays around that anyway. But yeah, if y'all have any more questions, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, I'm excited for this new format. I'm so excited for the new support, and I honestly believe that this deck is going to be meta for sure. Yeah, be sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a good day.